Everybody wants a free estimate for their construction project, and a lot of construction business owners think they're doing the right thing when they give a free estimate, but giving free estimates is a big mistake for home builders and remodelers. It's the root cause of a lot of your problems, and it could be killing your bottom line, and you don't have to do it. Let me explain. Be sure to stick around until the end, because I'm going to show you how you can end the practice of free estimates. There's a new way to run your custom home building and remodeling business that does not involve free estimates, and I'll show you how to do that and give you the entire system for free. But before we get to that, let's look at some common reasons why contractors offer free estimates. Everybody else is doing it. There's no way somebody would pay for a free estimate. Or there's no way somebody would pay for an estimate they expected for free, right? And that's how I've always done it. Man, I've been at this for 20 years. If there was a better way, I would have figured it out by now. It's a numbers game. The more free estimates I kick out, the more sales I get, right? Any of that sound familiar? All right, well, who am I? My name's Todd Dawalt. I founded the Construction Leading Edge podcast back in 2014. I've spent the last 25 plus years in the construction industry managing projects ranging from $100 million high-rises like this, $30 million office buildings. I've built about 2 million square feet of industrial properties. Had my own custom home building business for a while. Now I run the Construction Leading Edge, and we coach construction business owners. We have a program called Systematize Your Construction Business and the CEO Alliance. And one of our clients is Adam. He's from Tillamook, Oregon. We're working together, and he told me that he had an opportunity to, quote, give a bid on a custom home a few years ago, and he was about to pass on it because he didn't want to spend 40 hours on it and not have anything to show for it. So I said, hold on, before you say no, let's try something. And here's what happened after he tried that. He sent me this text, boom, thanks. I wouldn't have ever tried it if I'd not been working with you. So let's go back about 20 years or so ago. I was building custom homes, and I was a young, eager guy, and a guy named Terry came to me and wanted me to build a house. He was a pilot, and he said, Todd, you're my guy. I've got the land. I want you to build this house. Let's go. And I was excited, so I went to work and spent 40 hours or so doing plans, estimates, meeting with this guy and his wife. And when I presented him the number, he told me, oh man, our budget is like a third of that, and that includes the land. His budget was ridiculously low, and I'd wasted all of this time with an unqualified lead. He wasn't even a prospect. So here's what I've learned. Terry taught me a few things. Number one, people are more than willing to waste your time on their project. Number two, not everybody is a prospect. Not every lead is a prospect. You don't need to spend time with everybody who comes along. And number three, free estimates are the root cause of a lot of problems. All right. So there are a lot of opinions out there about free estimates. Eric Ruddy said, ridiculous. I'm happy to give homeowners a free estimate. He may want to do some spell checking on that. Chris said, if you can't go give a free estimate, you shouldn't be in business, period. Steven said, does your doctor give free estimates? Why would a professional offer a free service? Tony said, I think it's time to change this dilemma because we lose the time, money, and other important things when people do not decide, will do what they want. All right, let me introduce you to Travis. Travis builds custom homes, does kitchen renovations and historic renovations in Richmond. And here's where he was. He was spending about 30 hours on an estimate, doing them for free, wasting a lot of time on estimates for tire kickers and unqualified leads. We tried this method. He got his first pre-construction agreement signed without a question, and he collected a surprising amount of money in the first month of doing this. Here's a message he sent me. Hey, Todd, so I met with my first pre-construction client. We budgeted her project at $23,000, including $3,000 for pre-con, and we provided some upgrade options. She signed off on both. Now we have a contract for a $43,000 job. First time, he got $3,000 to propose on a project and then almost doubled it in size. And he got paid before he did anything. So here are three things I showed Travis and that I want to show you. Actually, just two things. So I don't have time to get to the third one in this video. Two things I want to show you so you can get paid for estimates and end the practice of free estimates. Number one, free estimates are probably killing your bottom line. Number two, your ideal client wants to pay you for an estimate. And this doesn't just work for guys like Travis who do that specific type of work. This works for all custom home builders all over the country, all over the U.S., Canada, Australia even. If you do remodeling, this works for you. If you do light commercial general contracting, this will work for you. If you do anything that involves design, selections, detailed specifications, you need to get paid for estimates. So here's the first thing you need to understand. Free estimates could be killing your bottom line. Another way to say it is you can boost your bottom line by getting paid for estimates. So let's talk about some of the most common symptoms or profit bleeds on your projects. Doing rework, giveaways where you do work and you don't get paid for it, having schedule delays, late starts, late finishes, projects taking too long, lost productivity on the jobs. Then there are some other symptoms like missed expectations with clients, having difficult conversations with clients that often start with something like, hey, I thought you said this, or you told me this. And if you did a root cause analysis, you would find that these are all traced back to gaps in many cases. Gaps like allowances, unknown materials, plug numbers, assumptions you made, unforeseen conditions, special permits you didn't know about, a lead time that changed, sudden price increase, something that got discontinued. And the root cause was the estimate had to be free. You didn't have time to plan out and price and detail everything because it had to be free. Another way to look at it is all those profit bleeds like rework, giveaways, schedule delays, lost productivity. Why are they happening on your projects? Could be because you don't have time to plan, train, make selections, do the things you want to do, but you're constantly in reactive mode, constantly putting out fires, constantly playing defense. And why is that? Could be because you're spending too much of your time doing free estimates. There can also be a vicious cycle caused by free estimates that looks something like this. You have these gaps in allowances, assumptions, guesses, and gambles that lead to profit bleeds like rework, delays, giveaways, and lost productivity. This causes confusion and chaos, and you get sucked into reactive and firefighting mode. That means you don't have time to be strategic. You don't have time to plan. So to get more work you feel like you have to do, free estimates, which leads you back into the beginning of the cycle. So I'm curious, what about you? Which of those profit bleeds caused by free estimates are hurting you the most? How much is it costing you every month? Here's another way to visualize what happens when you do free estimates. This is the just enough to start trap that you get pushed into by doing free estimates. Here's what it looks like when you do just enough pre-construction, what should be pre-construction to get started, then you start construction, then you continue doing what should be pre-construction. You have chaos. Where there's overlap between what should be pre-construction and construction, there's chaos. Selections getting finalized, materials getting ordered at the last minute, getting permits, finishing details, changes, questions, missing information, chaos. This is the just enough to start trap. And here's what you want it to look like. Here's what's possible. And this is what getting paid for estimates will help you do. You want a clearly defined pre-construction phase and then a gap before you start construction, and in between, you nail the handoff. You get your field teams everything they need to finish instead of just enough to start. I don't have time to get into the just enough to start trap any further, so let's move on to the second thing you need to understand if you're going to get paid for estimates. Your ideal customer wants to pay you. There are 3 questions you can ask your prospective client that will get them to see the value in paying you. I don't have time to get into the first 2. I'm going to show you how you can get the entire sales scripts with those questions. I want to talk about the third one, which is my favorite question. And here's what this looks like. You can say, all right, we have a couple of options at this point in the project. We can give you a free estimate, have a bunch of assumptions, allowances, contingencies, probably end up with change orders. You'll commit to the entire estimated contract amount up front. You'll write a big check for a deposit. Or the second option would be you make a small investment up front so we can do the planning and the design work up front. You'll have complete clarity on what we're going to build and how much it's going to cost before any work starts. You'll get to give us a test drive and see if you like how we operate. You'll make a small commitment, a small percentage of the contract. You'll write a small check up front. And if you move forward with the project, it likely won't cost you anything because we're going to either apply the cost of the contract or we're going to save you the money. So here's the question you can ask. When would you prefer to find out how much it's going to cost and what you're going to get? In the middle of the project or before you get started? This points to the value, and the right clients will say, I want to pay upfront. Here's something else, a little bonus graphic you can just draw on a piece of paper and show them. Here's the opportunity for change over time. You'll notice the opportunity to change something goes down the further you get into the construction phase. You'll also notice that the cost of change goes up exponentially as you get into the construction phase. So you can show this to them and then ask, when's the best time to make all of the decisions? When is the best time to make all of the selections? It's obviously over here, and that's why we need to get paid for pre-construction. This is Chris Miller from Louisiana. He reluctantly tried to get paid for an estimate with a previous client he had worked with, and here's what happened. He said, we'll collect our first $3,500 check tomorrow. It worked. This is Andy Culp, the guy on the left. Here's a text that Andy sent me after we worked to transition his business. He said, I just got my third pre-construction services agreement signed since Friday. And then he collected about $32,000 for estimates in the first 6 months. So let's go back to Adam. What happened with Adam? Remember, he had an opportunity on a custom home, the very first custom home he ever priced. And he sent me this text. He got paid $7,500 to do an estimate on a custom home, the first custom home he ever priced. And this was the first time he ever tried it. So imagine what that would be like. So if you would like the entire Get Paid for Estimates system, you can get it for free. The Get Paid for Estimates Masterclass, go to constructionleadingedge.com/start. The link is below this video in the comments. It's completely free. We have declared war on free estimates, and we want you to end the practice of free estimates. Pricing, guidance, sales scripts, pre-construction services agreement templates, it's all in there. And you may be wondering, yeah, but Todd, does this work in Australia? And the answer is yes. This is Manish and Michelle. They ran a remodeling business in Brisbane, Australia, and he sent me this message. We signed up a $31,000 pre-construction proposal for a potential build. Jason from Indiana said charging and only working in the world of paid design agreements was a game changer. And Aaron from Iowa said, I decided to use 3%. I've earned $6,500 from 3 clients in deposit money. So there you go. Head over to constructionleadingedge.com/start and join the movement to end the practice of free estimates. And if you would like to systematize your construction business, you want to hear what kind of results people have experienced, you can go to constructionleadingedge.com/results, listen to some of our clients who have systematized their business. And if you would like our help to systematize your business, to put the structures in place so you can have more freedom, more impact, and more wealth in your business, go schedule your business evaluation call at constructionleadingedge.com/apply. But if you just want to get paid for estimates, you don't need to talk to us. All you need to do is go to constructionleadingedge.com/start. Hey, my name's Todd from Construction Leading Edge. If you got some value out of this, please hit subscribe and like this video. And you may want to check out the Construction Leading Edge podcast on every podcast player out there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.